Hey y'all, happy Monday. I'm sorry I'm late, y'all. I was running my mouth with my son on the phone. I'm so sorry, y'all. Thank y'all for timing in. Appreciate y'all. Love you guys. How's everyone? How's everyone day going so far? How was everyone weekend? I hope everyone had a blessed and prosper weekend. I hope everyone is having a prosper day today. Yes. God is good. God gave us another blessed day. God is always awesome. Always awesome, y'all. Hey, Miss Smith. Hey, Buttercup. Hey, Open Book. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody that's coming in. God bless everybody. Yes. And y'all, I know y'all doesn't know her, but I want y'all to put prayer hands in the chat for a former content creator, has been in this sector for a while. She has passed on to go home to be with the Lord. I did put a community post up. I don't know if some of y'all have seen it, but I know some of y'all have, and some of y'all have wrote under my post. And I want to say thank you guys for that. She was a content creator. She was in this sector with us, with me and Open Book for quite some time, and we have these stories together. She was a beautiful content creator, and she has passed on. Um, so we're gonna keep her family and daughters and stuff in prayer and all of that. So yeah, I wanted to say that to y'all, let y'all know God is good, and we always have to stay prayed up, y'all. We always have to stay prayed up at all times. Hey Barbara, how you doing? Thank you for the prayer hands, open book. Thank you, Miss Smith. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate y'all. Yes, she was a great content creator, and she been in this sector with us for a while. Um, yes. My condolences to you and your friend. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, Auntie. I didn't even see you in the chat. What's going on, Auntie? Yes, I got a lot going on, y'all. My granddaughter going to graduate from 12th grade, and baby, she's just on my heels, okay? Like on grandma heels. Like, oh my God, girl. Ooh, and girl, she the only child. Again, mom never wanted to have no more children after her dad passed away. So it's like baby, she texted me last night and gave me a list of grandma, can you get this? Can you get this? I'm like, girl. But I love her. I love her. I love her. She missed her dad so much. She talked about that to me over the weekend. You know, she feel a little hurt that her dad not gonna be here to see her graduate from 12th grade this year. But I told her dad is definitely looking down on her, and her dad is proud of her. He's definitely proud of her, and I'm proud of her also. And she will be graduating next month, and then she'll take her break, and then she will be going off to college. So I told her God is with her, and she's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. Yeah. So hey, Philly girl. Hey, Queen. Thank you, Miss Smith. Thank you, Buttercup. Hey, Miss Lynn. And y'all, she loved to bake. Oh my God. She just loved to bake. So she sent me a list last night and said, Grandma, could you get all this stuff for me? Because I want to bake cookies. Because when she bakes stuff, her mom takes it to her job, and her mom sells her stuff for her. So I told her, I'll do that for her. So baby, she be on my heels, y'all. Lord Jesus have mercy. But her dad died throughout the pandemic. He didn't make it. He passed away, and that was my daughter only child, and she didn't want no more children after that. So yes, I don't like talking about it because it sometimes make me tear up. You know. Um. So y'all, I know And I know I promised y'all a video Saturday, y'all. I'm so sorry I didn't do the video. I was not like feeling myself Saturday at all. I really wasn't. I wasn't feeling myself Saturday. After I found out about the content creator, I really wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't up to set up on a laptop and make a video. So, yeah, it just was a lot going on. When I hit things like that, it make me sad. So that's why I didn't make the video Saturday. I just said, I'll wait. So I know y'all, I'm going to take y'all back to is I'm saying her name right, y'all? Shanquella, right? Y'all remember her, right? So I have a video, right? And wait, you know what? Never mind. I ain't even gonna say it, Lord. Sometimes God keeps me from saying things. Happy Monday, Miss D. Happy Monday to you too, my love. How are you doing? Happy Monday. So we know that Shanquella case is something similar to Ashlee, right? So we're gonna go back down memory lane. We're gonna watch a video of Shanquella, and then we're gonna talk about Ashlee, right? Now it is a content creator that I do follow, right? I really do like her, y'all. I just met her. I went on her panel, I think, and y'all know I don't even go on people panels, but I just like her commentary, and I like the way she's looking at things from a different perspective, right? When it comes to Ashlee, right? She reminds me of me, like she's open to all questions, answers. She go deep in the rabbit hole, like with red flags. What if this? What if that? She's a good content creator, and she dropped the link for me, and I came up there and we chit chat. We talked about the case and everything. I'm going to I gotta find her thing. So if y'all want to follow her, y'all can follow her. And she was live last night. Hey D, I'm late. You're not late, baby. You're not late. You are on time. And y'all, when we do cases, any content creator, when any content creator cover cases, y'all, we're not saying we know what happened. We're not saying we know what was said. We're not saying any of that. Us as content creators, and I'm going to definitely speak for me in open book, right? Because that's my rollie right there. Everybody fucks with me. No, open book is my rollie. 4 years strong, okay? We say what we think could have happened. We say what we think could have been said. We speculate over here because we wasn't there to know what really happened, right? And what was really said. And that's why I love the chat, because we come together and we put in the chat what we think could have happened, what we think could have been done better. And that when it comes to any case, okay? Because only one knows the real truth about any case that we cover. First and foremost is God upstairs. Okay? That's first and foremost. He knows because he was there. He sits high and he looks low. God is everywhere we go. Okay? Number two, the only people know what happened to Ashlee was the people that was there and had some involvement. They know what really happened, right? They know what really happened. So I love my chat. Y'all is welcome to always say how y'all feel over here. You don't have to be afraid over here. Okay? So I just want to make y'all sure of that, make y'all comfortable. Let y'all know y'all is in a safe place over here. Okay? You're not going to be blocked over here because you say how you feel, your opinion, because your opinion is your opinion. And I knocks no one from their opinion. That's just facts. That's how I get down over here. Okay? I knocks nobody from their opinion because everybody is entitled to their opinion. because that's what we do over here. We speculate because we was not there in Africa to know what was going on. We was not there in Mexico to know what really happened to. Well, let's put it like this: when it comes to the other girl, we know what happened, right? But we know they lied, right? And we know they really did cover up when it came to Jaquella, right? Because the video went viral the way they beat that girl, right? So we do know that part, right? So I just want to say, y'all don't feel like you're unsafe over here or any of that. Don't ever feel like that. You're always welcome over here. You're always safe over here. That's what we do over here. We speculate, we get along over here, and that's just that. Okay? That's what we do. So I want to make sure that I make all y'all feel comfortable. I don't want y'all to feel like y'all can't, say how y'all feel about a situation in my chat, because it's not like that over here. We all over here to love each other and get along. And that's it. And that's all. Now, I can't speak for everybody's platform. I can only speak for my platform. You know what I'm saying? So you all is welcome over here. Okay? So I wanted to make sure y'all know that. Hey, Miss D in chat. Hey, baby, how you doing? Is I'm saying your name right? Antoinette? Right, D facts. Yes. Hey, Miss Lynn, girl. How you been doing, sweetie? So let's bring up and another thing, y'all. I don't knock another content creator with another content creator do, because I don't like doing that, y'all. I don't. I do not like doing that. I don't, because I don't like doing that, because I feel it's not right to do things like that, you know, to knock another content creator for how they feel on their platform about a story. I just feel it's not fair, because that is their platform and they should have a right as a content creator to say how they feel about a story, because every content creator is not going to feel the same way about a story. And I'm not going to knock another content creator because of the way they approach their story. Now, what I will say, if I don't like the way they're approaching their story, I know how to get ghosts. But for it's me trying to get people to not like them and all that kind of stuff, I'm not like that. I'm just not that kind of person. And I would never do nothing like that. So yeah, I'm positive over anything. So that's just me. So we're gonna get into this story with Jaquella, and then I got another one I want to show y'all. So let's get into this one, y'all. I'm gonna bring y'all back a little bit.
Shanquella Robinson case will stick in our minds forever. But before we talk about court orders, remand documents, or that Cabo 6 member that allegedly recently came forward with new information regarding the case, we first have to go back to the beginning, because nothing about what's happening now makes sense unless you understand how a birthday trip left one of the members of the trip unalived and turned into an international legal battle. Now, in October of 2022, Shanquella Robinson, a 25-year-old businesswoman from Charlotte, North Carolina, traveled to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, with a group of people who we won't call friends, let's just call them associates. Now, the trip was meant to celebrate
That's
a
a fact.
birthday. It was supposed to be fun, relaxing,
Hey,
and
Dante.
memorable for all of the right reasons. Instead, less than 24 hours after arriving, Shanquella was dead.
A Charlotte family is trying to figure out what happened to their 25-year-old daughter. Shanquella Robinson's parents say she took a trip to Mexico last month with a group of friends. Her friends made it back, but she didn't. They said she was found dead. They were told what happened, but they tell me tonight they're not buying it.
Her family was initially told that she died from alcohol poisoning, but that explanation quickly fell when a video surfaced showing Shanquella being physically assaulted inside the villa. Soon after, Mexican authorities conducted an autopsy and
Exactly,
ruled
Miss
her
Lynn.
death a homicide, listing the cause as severe spinal cord injury caused by blunt force trauma. From that moment on, this was no longer just a tragic vacation gone wrong. It became an international case involving two countries, unanswered questions, and a growing demand for accountability. The people who traveled with Shanquella weekend, later being known online as the infamous Cabo 6 after her death, all returned back to the United States. None of them returned to Mexico to face questioning, and no one was arrested in the U.S. The absence of movement is what fueled years of frustration and public confusion. Now, one of the most significant reasons federal authorities in the United States said they could not definitively rule Shanquella Robinson's death as a homicide under U.S. law comes from conflicting autopsy results. Now, the initial autopsy performed in Mexico concluded her death was caused by a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, meaning extreme trauma at the top of the spine where it meets with the skull, suggesting violent injury rather than simple alcohol intoxication. Mexican authorities treated this as a violent death and issued an arrest warrant based on those findings. However, when Robinson's body was returned to the United States and a second autopsy was conducted by the Mecklenburg County Medical Examiner, the results were very different. The U.S. autopsy found that the spine was intact, contradicting the Mexican report, and there was no skull fracture or spinal cord injury. Instead, the U.S. exam found a hematoma of the forehead consistent with blunt force trauma, mild swelling of the brain, which is cerebral edema, signs of hypoxic ischemic brain injury, which means the brain did not get enough oxygen, but does not specifically point to the same mechanism of violent trauma the Mexican autopsy described. The U.S. examiner ultimately classified the death as undetermined because neither finding definitively explained the cause in a way that met the legal standards for a homicide. Because of this discrepancy, the Mexican report saying severe spinal trauma and the American report not finding the trauma at all, federal prosecutors said they did not have enough consistent, conclusive evidence to pursue criminal charges or rule the death as a homicide under U.S. law. Now let's get back to the Cabo 6 at the villa. Now, hours after Shanquella was relentlessly beaten, they decided to call for medical help. There was a doctor from the American Medical Center in Cabo San Lucas who responded. According to the police report, she found Shanquella disoriented, dehydrated, verbally unresponsive, and appearing intoxicated, and was told by the people who left her there that she had simply been drinking too much. The doctor advised that she needs to be taken to the hospital, but the group insisted she didn't have insurance and she needed to be treated at the villa instead. At around the same time, one of Shanquella's travel companions called her mother in North Carolina and told her that Shanquella was sick from alcohol poisoning and that a doctor was on the way. But here's where things get strange and raise more questions. In the police report, there is no indication that the people with Shanquella told the doctor about the earlier fight. The altercation captured on video that later emerged online, showing Shanquella being violently assaulted. Neither did they tell the authorities that she had been found on the bathroom floor. Eventually, Shanquella's condition worsened. Later in the afternoon, she began having seizures. Her breathing became difficult, her pulse dropped, and a 911 was made around 4:20 p.m. by one of the group members. At approximately 4:49 p.m., the doctor and one of the friends began administering CPR after she said that she could no longer feel a pulse. Paramedics were called and performed extended resuscitation efforts, but were ultimately unable to revive her, and she was pronounced dead at around 5:57 p.m., according to the police report. After Shanquella's death, the group left Mexico late that night or early the next morning and returned to the United States.
Now that's the thing, y'all. They left. They let them leave. Okay, didn't take their passports, none of that. They let these people leave and let them tell them anything what happened to this girl. It's like they took their word. Like, I just never understood that part neither. I really didn't. This girl never got justice. Never, ever. And the video went viral all through Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. TikTok, Instagram. Man.
They brought Shanquella's luggage and belongings back with them and reportedly told her family that she had died of alcohol.
Now, listen, y'all. Now, these mother suckers took her luggage back home and gave it to the mama, right? But Africa didn't send Ashlee stuff back. They only sent the body back, right? These people let these people that beat Shanquella up go back, no questions asked. But they kept Joe and took his passport. What is really going on here?
Poisoning. It wasn't until anonymous calls and emerging information that her mother began hearing that there may have been a fight before Shanquella's death, and a video soon began circulating showing an assault on her inside the villa. Details that they never shared with the attending doctor or initially with authorities. So that brings us to present day. Now, recently, according to the Crime Junkie podcast, one of the Cabo 6 members called in and told them that he had some information regarding what happened that infamous day in October 2022.
At least one person there claims that he genuinely did not know about the fight. We actually talked to one of the men who was on that trip. We're going to call him Mike because he doesn't want to be named. And Britt, this is a huge deal because no one from this trip has ever spoken to the media, anonymous or not. And according to Mike, he never even talked to police. So what I'm about to say may even be news to them. He told one of our reporters that he was the last to join the group in Mexico.
I was not there till the next day. I didn't see a fight. I didn't know.
Do anyone y'all remember him? Because I remember when he first spoke out when this happened. Do y'all remember him? I don't know if I believe him, but yeah.
But I didn't know it was a video. I didn't know they did any harm, anything. I went in there and told it was alcohol poisoning, so that's what I helped her as.
So he says that he got to the villa Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yes, I left on Saturday. The trip was from Friday, Sunday, October 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st going home. Didn't even make it there.
This is after they'd already called the doctor to look at Shanquella. And he says when he got there, like she was vomiting, she was disoriented. And he is the one who laid her on the couch, and he is the one who stayed to help.
So I'll instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time.
And at the time, he had no idea, he says, about the fight. Like none of the friends even told him. So he spent hours helping to take care of Shanquella, thinking that she really did just have alcohol poisoning.
I went in there and told her it was alcohol poisoning, so that's what I helped her as.
Because that is what they are telling everyone. And he says that he found out about the fight with the rest of the world when the video came out. But he has more pieces to the puzzle that might fill in what led up to that fight. Mike says that Jenae actually called him at around 3:00 in the morning, the night before the infamous fight video.
Yes, he was. He said he was a close friend. Yeah.
He said that everyone in the villa was drunk. And Shanquella and Jenae apparently had gotten into some kind of heated argument. And in the midst of this, a glass broke, which cut Jenae's foot. It was accidental, but it did not help the situation. So Mike says that Jenae was just beside herself and told him that she wanted Shanquella to leave. Like she doesn't even want her there for her birthday. Now, Mike says he managed to talk Jenae down and let Shanquella stay. And that was the last that he heard about their spat. But he suspects that that was the beginning of whatever the fight was that took place 4.5 hours later. He said that he was one of the friends to visit when they got back from Mexico, visit the family. And he did tell them everything he told us. But he says they were already suspicious that someone wasn't telling the full truth and they didn't really want to hear anything from him.
And did he tell the police?
No, like I said, he hasn't wanted to talk to police at all. But if some other stuff that he told us is true, stuff that we couldn't verify enough to report, the answers police might be looking for, I think, would be on people's phones and in their call logs, which I'm assuming they collected.
Just like Ashlee.
If the glass in the foot is a true story, then it kind of explains why they were so standoffish with Shanquella when she recorded that video the first night they got to the villa.
Yeah. It don't take that long to get naked, hoes. Where y'all at? She told me I'm gonna keep it hot. You gonna keep it hot? What?
I'll keep my hot benefits that I don't want to wear because it's too fuck.
What Gold said, they croup.
Exactly, open book.
The one that's like mediocre is in my champions. I can't do them.
Now, I just wanted to note that we are not for sure who exactly contacted Crime Junkies, but the only person that fits the description of what they're saying is Nazir Wiggins. But again, we do not know that for sure. But what we do know is that Shanquella Robinson's mother got tired of waiting. She turned to the civil court system in late 2024 and filed a wrongful death lawsuit in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, which is where she and her daughter lived. Now, the lawsuit was not a criminal case. It was a civil action meant to seek accountability, answers, and damages for what the family alleges was a preventable and violent death. Now, the complaint laid out how Shanquella traveled to Cabo with her friends and how she was later found unresponsive, and how the story given to her family at first did not match what later evidence revealed. Now, in that initial civil filing, Salamandra Robinson sued the individuals who were there with Shanquella on the trip, commonly referred to as the Cabo Six, as well as the FBI and the U.S. Department of State. Now, the lawsuit alleged wrongful death negligence and emotional distress against the travel companions, and claimed that federal agencies failed to properly investigate or protect a U.S. citizen abroad and failed to provide requested records. Now, the civil case named the people who were physically present with Shanquella in the villa and focused on their actions, omissions, and inconsistent accounts of what happened in the hours before her death. Public responses from the Cabo Six were limited, but at least one member of the group, Ms. Jenae Jackson, who later changed her name to Amani Green, formally responded in court. She denied all allegations made in the lawsuit, raised procedural defenses, including arguments about improper service and timing. Other members of the group did not give detailed public statements or sworn explanations about what happened, and none of them have been criminally charged in the United States. Importantly, no one from the group has publicly explained under oath why the fight occurred or why medical personnel were not informed about the earlier altercation. Now, after lawsuits was filed, the federal government removed the case from state court to federal court because federal agencies were named as defendants. That move temporarily shifted the case into the federal system. However, in 2025, a federal judge dismissed the claims against the FBI and the U.S. Department of State, ruling that the federal government could not be sued under those circumstances and that the Freedom of Information Act claims were filed in the wrong court. Once those federal claims were dismissed, the only claims left were state law claims against the individual defendants, also known as the Cabo Six. Now, because all remaining claims were based on state law and all remaining parties were residents of North Carolina, the federal court ruled that it no longer had jurisdiction to keep the case. Now, in January 2026, just a few days ago, the judge ordered the case remanded back to Mecklenburg County Superior Court, where it originally began. That remand did not end the lawsuit. It simply returned it to state, where the civil claims against the travel companions can continue through discovery, depositions, and further litigation, meaning the Cabo Six is not off the hook. The focus shifts directly to the Cabo Six now. This civil lawsuit against them is active again at the state level, meaning the court can now move forward with standard civil litigation procedures. This includes discovery, where both sides can request documents, phone records, messages, travel information, and other evidence related to the trip. It also opens the door for depositions, where the Cabo Six can be required to testify under oath about what happened before, during, and after Shanquella's death. Because this is a civil case, the Cabo Six are not facing criminal.
But let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think they're going to get all that stuff? Phone texts and phone records? Like, maybe people have changed their phone numbers, and like, what do y'all think? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Will it be easy? You know, this is sad. This is another sad case here. And I'm telling y'all, when I first seen the fight, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I thought that was a man beating her. I really did. I thought that was a man beating her. Because the way that girl was, I mean, oh my God, y'all. it was another video. I ain't even want to play that one because the way she was being beat, I just, couldn't stand watching it. So I picked this one right here because it was blurred out and stuff. But I always thought that was a man that was beating her, and it's sad because all those people went on that trip with her, and none of y'all told that mother or that father what really happened to their daughter. All y'all was nothing but a bunch of fucking snakes. Y'all never liked that girl. And then on top of it, she paid for the whole trip. That video, I couldn't watch that. Yeah, I seen it again last night. It's no way that was my baby. Yes. Hello, Royal D in chat. Hey, sweetie, how are you? Like, and I don't blame the mother and father for not want to talk to none of them because none of y'all going to tell the truth. You're not going to tell the truth what really happened. Y'all going to tell the mother and father lies. And the mother and father has a right to feel the way they feel because these people, the father said out his own mouth when it first happened that those same people was coming to his house every single day, chilling, being with his daughter, eating at the table with. And if y'all can remember, Shanquella had her own business. If y'all can remember that. The girl had something going on for herself. She had a big platform, okay? And I think it was a lot of jealousy there. I believe that. I definitely do believe it was a lot of jealousy there. And she didn't see it. She probably missed all the red flags. Again, just like Ashlee did with Joe.
Criminal penalties in court, such as prison time or things of that nature. However, they can face serious civil consequences if the court finds them liable, including monetary damages, judgments, and long-time financial exposure. Unlike criminal investigations, civil cases also have a lower burden of proof, meaning the family does not have to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, only that it is more likely than not that the defendants are responsible for the harm that was alleged. Now, this remand also removes federal protections and delays that previously slowed the case down. In state court, defendants cannot rely on federal immunity arguments, and procedural defenses become more limited. If the case proceeds into full discovery, inconsistencies between what the Cabo 6 told medical personnel, law enforcement, and Shanquella's family could become central issues. Any sworn testimonies given in this civil case could also be preserved and later referenced if criminal authorities in the United States or Mexico revisit the case. Importantly, being compelled to participate in a civil case means the Cabo 6 may no longer be able to remain silent in the way they have so far. While they still have the right to invoke the Fifth Amendment in certain circumstances, doing so repeatedly in a civil case can carry strategic consequences and may be viewed negatively by a jury. State court proceedings often bring far more public scrutiny, and the facts developed in the discovery can reshape how the case is understood. All in all, the fat lady has not sang yet, and just because this is a civil case does not mean it's over for the Cabo 6. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on with the Cabo 6 and this alleged individual that arrived to the villa late and now has something to say? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, because I don't know if I trust him or not. I don't know. Everybody will be a suspect to me. I'm just being honest about it, y'all. Everybody will be a suspect. So her mom and dad had a right to feel the way that they was really feeling. They did not trust the guy. I wouldn't have trusted him either. No way. How are you gonna see and say, well, I wasn't there, I just got there, days later. No, I just won't trust you. I'm just gonna be honest because none of y'all want to tell the real truth what happened to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? None of y'all is really gonna tell the real truth what really happened to their daughter. So this is another case. I just want to bring some more light to that case. I'll probably do some updates on that case too, because I know she be doing a lot of updates on this case also. So I just couldn't watch the video. I just not the way they was beating her. I ain't like that. Not. That was just, ugh, that was crazy the way they was beating her. I mean, I couldn't do nobody like that. Like, I mean, everybody, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Hold on, let me get to this other one. All right, let me see. Mm, 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 mm.
Got hurt.
Hold on, y'all. Let me just. And they saying Joe in jail. I don't know what Joe is, y'all. I'm just confused, just like y'all. So don't ask me to go in
Yes, my
jail, y'all.
wonderful
'Cause I don't
people.
know.
Welcome to J Progress Entertainment again. People, there has been so much
Hey, open book.
that I have heard for the past 2 days in
Hey,
the
chat.
Ashlee
Lord of
Jenae
me.
case. Zanzibar cover up is a lot deeper, deeper, deeper than we ever thought it was. So much have been revealed. And you know what? It's okay to say allegedly, but guess what? One thing Jamaicans always say, if it doesn't go exactly like you hear it goes, it is very, very, very close.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not exactly the truth, it's very, very close to the truth, based on what we have heard. People, I have said it already, and I'll say this again. Ashlee didn't leave that right alive.
Open book. How many times I said that?
Ashlee was
Right.
already
Mhm.
alive
How
when she
many
was.
times I said I believe that girl was already gone when she left that villa?
Yep, you said it.
I don't believe she was alive.
Indeed, I wanted to bring up some points from that Shanquella video that
Okay, baby.
goes kind of with some of the things like with these cases,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm wondering, will we see the same trend? Because if you think about it, Shanquella's family, they also had an independent autopsy done on her too, which they found out it wasn't what they discovered over in
In
Cabo. And then
Mexico, right?
you see what I'm saying? So it's like
Yes.
they dropped the ball on that investigation and did not do a thorough investigation, just like I don't feel that they are doing a thorough investigation in Tanzania either. So I'm wondering, even if the family, because they're doing this independent autopsy, will they have, because that's in a whole other country, will they also get anywhere with that? Because I think that's where it gets crossed. Like, you have to, if he's found guilty or they want to charge him with homicide, and then if he's released to come back here eventually, they would have to extradite him back over there. They would have to bring up charges, and then it becomes more difficult because we don't know for sure if he's still over there or if he's made it back to the US.
Right.
So
Right.
that's like a whole other layer. And then
Right.
also with the friends. Okay. Now they did something similar to Lulu. Now y'all are
Mm-hmm.
saying, oh, this was our friend, this, the boy came live doing all of that, but you left her there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they said that did they use some of her money or something to come back to the US?
Jaquella?
Did they use some of her money or something to come back over
Well,
here?
in the beginning, when it first came out years ago, people was saying that, but I don't know if it ever was verified.
Okay. Okay. Now, I think just like with
the Tyrone case, Lulu was asking around the police department, and who knows if any of those businesses had they seen anything. Okay, do they have any camera footage? Well, the only difference in the Shanquella case is the friends, the mom said in the beginning, before that video really started going viral, they were coming there hanging out with her, but it was to see how much she knew and how much the police them had already shared. And then once
Mm.
that video started going viral, she said they quit coming around. They stopped coming around.
Yep, she did. She did say that.
So I think that they were just trying to check the temperature to see if they were about to go down or whatever. So I don't even know, this whole Shanquella case, will justice be served in that particular aspect? Because look at how long this has gone on, how much evidence they would have to get, and then they would have to extradite. Now, I thought they were extraditing Jenae Jackson back, to Cabo. I don't know
That's
where
what
they
I
are in that
thought
process.
too. Yeah, and I
Mhm.
don't know what happened with it, but that's what I thought. And they also said she done changed her name. And then another
Yep.
thing, Open Book, ain't no telling where these people at now.
Right. Where they at? So they would have to find all of them, things, people's memories and things over time, like any witnesses have probably forgotten what happened, but they were wrong over there to even take their word. But like I say, some of this stuff, it is to protect these businesses and travel, tourism, all that. Tanzania, they're trying to protect their image. They don't want it to be like this whole murder took place over there. Cabo, they know that a lot of people come there. They would rather it be that this girl died of alcohol poisoning and not an murder, something that went too far and it unalived her because they don't want to lose money.
Right.
A lot of them know that it will put, and we should be until this Shanquella Robinson case is solved, we should be boycotting Cabo. Why we all over in Cabo? Okay, I ain't going there until y'all solve this Shanquella case. See, our money, when we stand together, our money, y'all, has power. Look at just that little time. I just think back to how they shut that store down in Houston until they came with it. Okay, imagine if folks stopped spending their dollars going on these trips over to Cabo in protest of them not handling this. I bet you they'll get some charges against the Dejanay Jackson girl because they're going to start losing money. And that is
Mhm.
sad that this case has gone on this long and she has not gotten any justice yet.
At all.
Because I'm not going over there until they solve this case. Child, for one, I'm scared because that means you're going over there, something happened to you. They ain't finna look into it.
They should, and Open Book. Not only over there, anywhere out of this country, if something happened to you, they don't care. They
Right.
only care about protecting their place of business. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna send your body back. They may send your shit back. They may not send your shit back, but they definitely gonna cover this shit up.
Yep. They're going to try to cover it up. I'm telling you, I'm with you, OG. I'm not going to Tanzania. Probably wasn't even going there. I probably had better chances of going to Cabo than Tanzania, but I'm sure not going over there now. And I ain't going to Cabo. I don't care how good the savings are, how beautiful it is. Until y'all figure out what happened to this black young lady, y'all will not get none of my black dollars over in no Cabo. And I don't even know what y'all got going on because it should not have taken this long for her to get justice. Y'all, we got to show the impact. Let them feel it in the dollars. I know we don't want to hear stuff like that because we want to have our fun and things like that, but it makes a difference. We just saw that in a small setting that it mattered. That man had fired that clerk. Child was scared. He was getting death threats. He made an apology, trying to come up with a whole plan so that this doesn't happen again. When people see that folks are joined together and that their dollars, they are withholding their money, oh, it'll get their attention. It'll definitely get their attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because enough is enough. Like, this is too many people. And these are black men and women, y'all, that are losing their lives. The families are still trying to get justice. Shanquella, Tyrone, now Ashlee, and we're seeing trends throughout all of these stories. You got Lulu with Tyrone. She gone somewhere. Okay, you got Joe with Ashlee. We don't even know where he at. He ain't even been out here. At least Lulu has given us a couple of posts since that time. He ain't been out here. The only thing he's done is change a doggone profile picture and took all his videos and things down off of Facebook. But let me be quiet, get off my soul.
But wait a minute,
Show video.
do you think that? Listen, because see, now you got people saying he in jail. I'm not gonna say that because I don't know where he at. Okay, I'm not
Yeah,
there. I don't have eyes all the way over there to see where this man at. I
right.
can't
You
even
know.
be honest and say the man is still there. I can't even say the man is back. I
Right.
can't even say if they really gave him his passport back. I don't know which way to go with it.
Yeah. We don't have no proof. It's like no police records. The last we heard in the mainstream media, they have not came back and given us no updates. Okay. The only update that we did get was from TMZ recently when the father said that Ashlee's body was back. She did not receive any of her personal belongings, and they have not talked to Joe. So it's not even like they can vouch for him. They don't know where he is.
That's right.
So I don't know how people are saying Joe's still in jail. What proof is there? That's all we're saying. We're not trying to counter anything, saying people lying and all of that. But if we're going to say certain things at some point, because we're going to continue to go down these paths where we got to like go back and regroup, unless we start saying, where is the proof to this? Where is the police record? And that means that if they've kept him this long, that means that that thing had been turned from suicide to homicide. There should be an update. To me, I would think, they can't hold him
Because why
without
would you want to
charging
have
him.
somebody sitting in jail anyway and they're not charged with nothing? What sense do that make?
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying too. I mean, if he's not charged, how would they be able to hold him? What were the
Right.
findings in the investigation so far? What all y'all got to look into this long? How many cameras was it?
Right. Right. We don't
And then
know.
what happened with the 10 people
Yeah,
that they
what happened with the
supposedly
10 people?
detained?
Why? And if it was 10 people, again, why did they take 10 people in? What was the reason why they took 10 people in?
Right.
What made them take the 10 people in? They had to have a reason if they took 10 people in.
And that's what
Because
now
we
that
know,
makes me second guess that whole narrative. I think somebody was coming out here trying to put some narratives out for the people to talk about to try to appease us because nothing was being said. It wasn't until everybody was pretty much saying, well, what happened to her? And then here comes the narrative of this stuff possibly happening or, that they're keeping his passport, we're bringing in people questioning them, and we heard nothing else. That was to appease the public, nothing to make it look like they were doing something. I don't
yeah,
even know if all of that is true.
yeah, that was to shut the social media sites down so they can
Yep.
stop talking about because they know it went viral, and that's not what they wanted to do because they know that would mess up their business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what Ashlee, let me just say this. Ashlee, mother is quiet, right? I agree with you, Barbara. And she said he probably lining up the next victim. Girl, ooh,
Right.
Jesus, child, I wouldn't be surprised, honey. They trying to let it cool down. Yes, I believe that
Yep.
too. Hey, Brittany. Now we know today they are having a wake for Ashlee the day and tomorrow with the funeral too. So
Mm-hmm.
that it is one today and then it's one tomorrow, and they will bury her tomorrow. I do know that it was a supporter in oh my God, I forgot the content creator name, saying that she is going to fly out. She's going to be boots on the ground tomorrow. She was in the chat saying it that
Oh,
she was going to fly out to Jersey and she was going to be there. So I will go in her chat today to see did is she really going to go there for uh tomorrow. Now, I'm just saying this, y'all, and sometimes I just get tired of holding shit back.
Right.
Sometimes you just gotta be honest with shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn. I just feel like the mama ain't saying shit. And why? Why is this mama not saying nothing? Do this mother really know Joe wasn't shit? Do this mother really know that Joe was really abusing her goddamn daughter and she covering up for Joe? What the hell is really going on here? Did you really know how Joe really was? And you don't want to say anything because you feel like that will make your daughter look bad? Like, what is going on here? Why are you not saying nothing? And I don't want to hear that shit. She grieving. Yeah, we know she grieving. And I would never take that away from a grieving mother. But why are you not saying anything? Okay, you got people out here now is going crazy over all that money, and none of the money was spent. They trying to say that the money was for her to go over there to see what happened. She didn't go. Okay. Then they tried to say the money was for the barrier. Okay. Well, if the money for the barrier, it can't be for the barrier, because let's look at it, y'all. The GoFundMe is still sitting there with the money in it.
Well, D, although it shows on the GoFundMe, the money is there, it goes to an account. So you could be withdrawing the money and the money will show that it's still at that amount. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't
Oh,
show
really?
all the
Oh, I didn't know
withdrawal.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, do you think that she used that for the funeral, or do you think, because I do know those celebrities probably did help her? I got a feeling. Now, I'm not gonna say Cardi B, because like I said, I never got no update that I heard that girl say that, so I'm not gonna say the girl helped because I don't know. Only thing I know, I seen her speak out one time and say the girl did not unalive herself. Now, as far as that her helping, I don't know, but the other people, they did say they was going to help the mom. So, maybe they probably help. I don't know, because the mama ain't
Yeah.
saying nothing.
And really the dad, we've gotten more of the updates from her dad. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I mean, depending on, I forgot to look up the average price for an independent autopsy because I was trying to see how much do those cost. But funerals now are costly. So it's
Oh,
possible
yeah.
that they could have used it for the funeral. Okay, because you got to think he probably used some for travel to go to Washington because he did go to Washington. Um, the
Yeah, they
independent
did go there.
autopsy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Independent autopsy. The family is responsible for getting her body back. I'm not sure of how much that would have cost to get her body sent back because they have to make those arrangements with the funeral home and all of that. So any fees, the family would have to take care of that as well.
So let me ask you a question. Can you remember this? Because I can't remember. Can you remember if Jaquella mother paid to get their body back, or they just sent it back on their own will? Can you remember that?
I think they had to pay. They had to pay to get her body back too.
Okay.
Because I think didn't her father come out? Because now
Oh,
it's been
yes,
so
you're
long.
right.
Remember the father came out?
Right. The father did. The father did say they had to pay. Right. You're right about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they
Wow.
had to, so that, I mean, that could have easily eaten that money up. Like, seriously, between a funeral, travel, autopsy, getting her body back, that could have very well eaten that money up.
So do you think that the father and the mother will go there? I don't think they will go there. I don't think so.
Um, at this point, I don't think so, unless something else comes up. Um, where they just have to go, like if something comes up with the investigation, they may just be working with the embassy to see if they can get her stuff back. Now, I don't know what their goal will be after this autopsy report comes back.
Right.
And if it comes back that there is some foul play, then there goes a whole other situation, but that makes it a harder situation because, in my opinion, you gotta, oh my gosh, you're working with a whole other country. Then you got to
Yes.
try to get them to get the charges on the person and bring them, if he's not still over there, get him extradited back. That's a whole process. It's going to be a hard process.
And I'm just gonna be honest, I don't think they're gonna do it. I really just don't think that they're gonna do it. I mean, come on, we looking right at the way they did Jaquella family. We looking at it
Mhm.
in plain
Yep.
view. We looking at it in plain view. They didn't do nothing for that family. They even denied her from the lawsuit, the mother. So that means if Ashlee mothers tried to sue, would they do them the same way?
Right. Exact. That's why I was trying to bring up the comparisons. Right. I think it would be something similar that they may not even really look into this thing like that. And then if this man has money too, that could possibly, or connections where they could possibly try to cover this up and make this go away. That makes it harder in this particular case, even
And then
even more so than
let's speak
Shanquella.
on this, open book. Let's speak on this. Now, didn't Ashlee mom come out and say that Ashlee called her and said they put her in another room? Didn't Ashlee mother say that?
Yes, when the reporter was that was I forgot which one. I think it was the reporter from the news station. She said, and the mom said, now I didn't hear out of her mouth on the video, but she said, and the mom said that Ashlee called her and stated that they were separating them into rooms, to
Right.
two different rooms.
You're right. The mom didn't
Mhm.
verbally say it, y'all, but a news reporter said the mom said it. And only reason I'm bringing this up because, hey, AB, what's going on, love?
Hi, AB.
The only reason I'm bringing this up because now it was said that Ashlee and Joe was never split up out the rooms. So I need to know, where did the mom get from that Ashlee said they were split up? Or is this true?
Right.
I'm stuck there.
Because one of two things. Either the mama telling the truth and Ashlee called her and said that, and this new source is lying, or the new source is lying, I mean, telling the truth, and Ashlee's mom is somehow lying and covering for Joe. I mean, that's what you're going to say if you say one or the other. If people going to put out the new narrative, you're calling her
Okay,
mom a liar.
right. Because if they didn't move Ashlee out of the room, right? But Ashlee told the mother that, why would she tell her mother that if it wasn't true? Or
Right.
did she tell her mother that just to say, Ashlee could have said, well, I'm going to try to go to another room, but didn't really never go to the other room? Did she tell her mom that and the mother thought maybe, okay, they're going to move her to another room? Or did she speak to Ashlee while Ashlee was in that room alone by herself and she was already in that room? Like, I don't know.
Yep, that's the thing. And that's what, yeah, it is what it is. I was about to bring that up because I said this morning, I want to go back and listen to the verbiage. Did it say moved, ED, that they had already split them up, or moving, that they were about to do it and it ended up not happening? You see
See,
what I'm
we
saying?
don't
Those would be
know.
two
We
different
don't
things.
know. We only going by what the news reporter said that Ashlee called her mother and told her mother that they had an argument and they moved her into another room. And then what I'm hearing now, that Ashlee was never moved to another room. So then if Ashlee wasn't moved to another room, who unalived her?
Well,
It was only
if she
one
wasn't
person
moved,
in the order.
it would be Joe.
Right? Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
And then it came out too during that same source talking about the butler didn't give Ashlee the charger, which that part I didn't believe the charger story anyways. But it's just too many different. It's like a whole new narrative right now. Like I ain't even go through all that. I ain't even
To be
shared
honest,
stuff. I
Barbara,
gotta process all of that.
to be honest, Barbara, we don't even know if Joe really in jail. I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm not gonna put it out on my platform. I don't know where Joe at. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm being honest. I don't know if they're just saying Joe in jail to cover this up to make everything go away. You know what I'm saying? Is Joe really back? Did they really take Joe's passport? We really don't know nothing. Listen, the only one know the truth is that man upstairs. That's it. The only one know the truth is that man upstairs and the person that was in that room with Ashlee. Because only thing we can do is just think what we think could have happened. And that's all we doing. Because if Ashlee wasn't never really put in another room, then Joe did something to her. Because they was now another thing. Did the man if Ashlee wasn't put in another room, well then how did this charger come about?
Right. And my thing is the press conference. Didn't the guy say in the press conference that they were separated?
I think he did because somebody was translating for him because we didn't understand what he was saying, but it was translated. And the person
Okay, so
I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if he said it during the press conference, now there's a new source that's sending out information, then that needs to come directly from the officials there before people just really run with that, because we don't know if this source has been sent to put out things. But one
Right.
is to now make the mom look like a liar. Also, to make it look like Joe has an alibi as to why he's not going to be at this funeral tomorrow, because all eyes are going to be looking for Joe.
No.
Okay, whether people think he's going or not, it still would have looked a certain type of way. But now people can say, oh, he not there because he in jail.
Right, and we don't really know that. And 2 cents is the truth. She said that I think the hotel staff. No, I like this one. What she said too. She said, "I wonder if the mom knows anything more and not sharing it." I said that, and I believe that. They also said Joe is friends with the owner of that. Yes, I heard that too, Barbara.
Now, I did look that up on my own though at one point because I wanted to find out who actually owned that hotel. Now, the guy who owns it, he made a personal investment. He's from Czechoslovakia, however you say it, Czechoslovakia. He's from there. Now, I even worded it in ChatGPT to see if there are any connections between him and Joe McCann. There are no public, y'all, verifiable sources that are able to say that those people are friends. Okay. If that is going to come out, what is the source of that to show that they're friends? Now, we could probably kind of assume possibly that because they may have run in some similar circles because they both invest and things like that, that maybe, hey, they cross paths. But to flat out say they friends, Ace Coon, that they set all this up, like it's no proof of that. It really isn't. And we don't know who the friend was that was allegedly there with him. Now, I must say, though,
and not only that, open book, do we really know it was the friend that met him there? We don't know that. We just going by what we heard, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Right. We don't know if it was that a friend flew in with him and a friend was really there. We don't know.
And a lot of those details, the extra details, were put out by a source, and I use quotation marks, a source that was in the area. But and we all kind of was running with the things that were put out because we had not been given a lot of details from the officials. So we're thinking, oh, okay, this source is close by. He knows a little, stuff. And so now another source is coming out with an entirely different story, but this story has not been reported by officials nor the family. Okay. So that's like I don't know. I ain't saying the person lying or anything like that for sure, because I don't know, but you
Because
got to
they also
consider it's
said
not
too that
verifiable.
Joe was the one that put her in the car and took her to the hospital. It was never an ambulance, correct?
Yes, like all of that. Like I
Like
kind
all
of
this
haven't
stuff is
even
new now,
processed all of that.
y'all. And we don't, and listen, me and Open Book not saying this stuff is true. We just saying what we hearing. We do not know if this is true, if this is factual. This is just what we're hearing, that Joe was the one that took her to the hospital. And we're not saying it's true because we don't know.
Right.
The family isn't really saying anything. Nope. I just listened to a reporter said her and her fiance got into an argument and they had moved them to another room. Right. That was in the beginning. But now we're hearing that they never separated out of the room.
So then where all this villa number this, villa number this, you know what I'm saying? The whole map,
Villa number
things
10 and
like
villa
that.
number 20. Where all that come from?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I question, like, if one source said it on the same channel, then on the same channel, another source, that is confusing to me. I'm just being honest. It's now a totally different story. Then who did the whole hospital intake form? Where did that come from? If Joe was supposedly the one that took her to the hospital, who did the intake form?
Right, because remember the intake form that you read up here on my panel that day when they was asking questions? So if Joe took her to the hospital, where did that come in at? Is that fake?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's so much. That's why I don't purposely talk about some stuff, because it's just going to cause confusion for the followers and all of that. And I was like, let me just wait this out, because
That's what I
it
say
was
to
a
Open Book.
lot.
When I talk over here, y'all, I'm not talking because I know, because someone told me, because no one told me anything. I just speak what I think, what I may think could have happened, what I may think could have been said, or I'm speculating. I do that in every case I cover. For the people that's been following me for a while, they know I do that because I'm not there. Like I said, only people know what really happens in things like this is the people that was there and the man upstairs. I can't sit here and say, oh my God, y'all, we got it. I'm gonna solve the case. It's done. It's over. I would never tell y'all nothing like that because I would be straight out lying because I was not there. But when I feel like things is not right, I just call it out. When I feel like it's too much going on with it, I just say what I say and, that's it. I just feel like it's too much.
Like that there, I was like,
who did they remove from the room, Joe or Ashlee? I don't know.
Supposedly it was Joe, remember? That he was supposed to have been in the other villa number 60.
You supposed to have went to another villa like 8 or 10 minutes away. Yeah, right.
Yeah, like 8 to 10 minutes away, walking distance.
She said, now what? Joe took her to the hospital? That's what was said, girl. Lord, y'all got me confused. The guy was a far from day one, just evil. Facts.
Wow. Hey, D, I'm going to be in the chat. I got to hop down right quick.
Okay, you can come back up whenever.
Okay.
My husband has surgery like 4 years ago, and I know those nurses on the unit was sick of me. Whew, y'all, it's just a lot. It's a lot to process, y'all. I don't know. Listen, only Ashlee mother is gonna know the real truth when it comes to they was moving out that room. Who was moving out that room? Only the mom gonna know. Did the mom just say that to throw it off, and they never moved nobody, and they were still in the room? And she just said that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. Wow. This is just, well, let's, whew, Lord Jesus. Lord have mercy, Jesus, y'all. I don't know. Let me see. Leslie Joe removed from the room. Yes, that's what we heard. It was Joe. Now, y'all, do y'all think the mom may come out after the funeral tomorrow and everything? And do y'all think the autopsy came back? Whatever. How long does it normally take this? Go ahead, y'all. Put it in the chat. I was reading a message. Hold on. I don't know. I'm in the bushes, but I'm here. Okay. I saw the video last night with for marriage to reaffirm. It was at a hotel, and while she was out, someone broke into her room. It looks like it was broken. It was broken off. Oh, about 2 to 3 months. I think they will speak up. You think so? Okay. Okay, Barbara said it takes like 2 to 3 months. Okay. Ooh, Lord. In New Jersey, it took like 5 months for my brother autopsy to come back. Ooh, really? Yeah, sometimes it can take a while. So, right? Do y'all think the mother would be silent until then, y'all? What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think she would just not say anything until the results come back? I think once the barrier actually is over, I don't trust the parents. Well, the live I was in last night, a lot of people over there don't trust the parents neither. And a lot of people, before I can share her commentary, I'm going to ask her, could I share her commentary? Because I like her commentary. Like she get deep in it. Like she don't play. Okay. Like, baby, she called it how she said. She said she tired of foolishness. That's what she said. She tired of the foolishness. And I don't blame her. Because sometimes you do get tired of the foolishness. You really do. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not going to lie. I do believe Ashlee mom knew a lot about Joe's behavior. Okay? I do believe that. I do believe she knew a lot about Joe's behavior. She knew he was very abusive to her daughter. Now, she cannot make her daughter leave a relationship if she don't want to leave a relationship. You know how that go with your kids, you know. But I maybe feel like she don't want to say anything because that might not make her daughter look good. But I feel like that would not make her daughter look bad neither. Because, I mean, you can only say but so much to your children, right? Or do you feel as a mother, you felt your daughter in some type of way and you feeling guilty about it? I'm just being honest, y'all. I'm just being honest. You know, I mean, because if you know anything that your daughter have discussed it with you, anything about Joe's behavior, okay, anything Joe did, right? Why not discuss it? Why not? It will bring light to Joe's behavior. It will bring light to this situation. Okay? For a lot of people. This is deep. Yes, it is. How old is Joe? Joe was 45 and Ashlee was 31. She turned 31 when she was out there in Tanzania, because that's what she literally went out there for. He surprised her for her birthday and took her out there. And that's when she got engaged out there. And another thing, did the mother know about the engagement? Did she know that Joe was going to propose to her daughter? Did the father know? And they're not saying, because she did say that Ashlee FaceTimed them and showed them the marriage ring, and Ashlee was very happy. So did the mother know this was going to happen before, the engagement? They are burying Ashlee too fast. Yep. I think like 2 content creators did say that, and I definitely agree with them on that. Ashlee told her mother what happened when she called her. The first thing someone would say is what happened. Facts. And I'm glad you said that, because I was going to get to that too. Did she ask what happened? Did she tell her mother what happened? Or did she say, Mama, we just had an argument. Don't worry, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what she said to her mother. But she was right, because that's the first thing you're going to ask your child. What happened? Or either a close friend of yours. You know what I'm saying? Someone you real close with. You're going to also ask them too. You safe? What happened? You need something? You need me? Something. Yeah, Joe is crazy. The content creator I follow, y'all, she called him Blue. I think, what she call him? Blue Devil Eyes. She don't call him by his name, honey, because she don't like him. She called him the Blue Devil Eyes, and I be cracking up at her. Yes, she called him the Blue Devil Eyes. So it is a lot of questions. I mean, I don't, and I understand, like, she's grieving. Everybody will grieve when it comes to their child, but if a man, I know that my daughter has been telling me about his behavior, I'm not holding back, y'all. I'm just sorry. I'm just not going to hold back. I'm going to let the world know. My daughter has been telling me things. She has been telling me this. She has been sending me text messages. She has been sending me videos. She's been sending me this. I talked to her. I tried to get her to leave, and she wouldn't leave. I would come out and say something. Blue Devil. Okay, yeah, that's what she called it. Okay, yes, I knew it was something like that. I couldn't get it right. Yep, that's what she called him, because that's exactly what he is. Mama Bear rising up. Y'all, this is a tough case. It's another tough case, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest, y'all. I think this gonna be a tough case to get somebody arrested. I'm being honest, and I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will come back and say it. But I think this case is gonna turn out like Shanquella case. I'm just being honest. You can't trust the worker hotels neither. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Look at Shanquella's story. Exactly. 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 You was absolutely right. So, y'all, I'm going to finish letting y'all hear what Jay had to say.
She was transported from that resort to whatever medical center they took her first.
They said Joe isn't broke. I heard that too.
That was a dead girl. She was not alive.
I told you I believed that when she left.
We have to learn to know that when it comes on to a hotel and a luxury resort like that, public perception values a lot. What a person think about your resort, what a person think about your hotel, that is what carry the weight. It's not about marketing. The biggest advertisement for any hotel is reviews. You could market that property as much as you want, but what is a real human being review? That is what carries the weight. So when we have the public out here globally putting a certain spotlight on that hotel in such a negative manner, do you really think that hotel would have let their hotel become a crime scene? You remove the body and say that the person was alive. the hotel is not a crime scene because the person passed away at the hospital. It's simple. Ashlee was already dead at that hotel.
I believe
the
that.
hotel wasn't going to make the hotel a crime scene. So there is no way Ashlee body would have been there and they bring in the undertaker and the hotel property to remove that body. Then if it was a case of her taking her own life or someone else taking her life, then the hotel would have been a crime scene. That wasn't going to be able to happen. They would have never allowed that to happen. And I think this is one of the biggest things right now. It's one of the absolute biggest thing right now. And people, let me tell you this. People don't realize how much the cover-up has run deep. Huh. We don't want to give everything in this video because we have a live coming up tomorrow. But I'll say to you guys, according to the hotel, Joe was moved to a different room. It is quite possible that they could. But you know what?
You're right about that, sis. I never thought about that. They can rebrand that hotel. You absolutely right. I didn't think like that, but that's a big possibility.
Based on a person who have been a guest at a hotel before, for your next door or the next guest in the next room to call front desk to report you in your room, it has to be really, really bad. Really, really loud, really, really disturbing, really, really, really bad. So now you tell me, if the brawl happened, right? Listen to me, you know. If the brawl happened in full view of people in the reception, where they had to separate.
Yeah, some YouTubers do. That's some AI channels. But I like Jay because Jay, he tells how he feel, what he thinks. So that's why I don't mind sharing his content. You know, it ain't like he's saying he know what happened. He was there. You know, he breaks down what he feels what happened, you know. So that's why I like sharing his. Some people's, those AI channels, I really don't use none of their content because I know they be telling a lot of lies, and I don't want nobody to come after me for no lies. So I don't be bothered with them. Now they talking positive about somebody, I do it, but all that lying stuff, I don't like all that lying stuff. I can't get with all that stuff.
Separate them because they almost had a fight. Why would they allow them to go back to their room in such a rage that it gets to a point where the next guests in the next room had to call the reception to say it's really bad? So they need to come in and separate them. It doesn't make any sense. And now, I think it got that bad where the guests in the next room thought that somebody got hurt. And they would have gotten hurt really bad. Unfortunately, that was Ashlee. We know that whoever that hotel staff is, who they claim went back to Ashlee's room to check, and Ashlee asked for a charger for her phone and crap like that. It doesn't make any sense. According to the hotel, they moved Joe, not Ashlee. And I have said this in numerous amount of videos. How would Ashlee just realize that she have left her charger? Where would Ashlee charger be? Ashlee is a content creator. She'll always have a charger or a charging pack in stock.
Right. The guest should have called the police. And another thing, y'all, did they question the guest to ask the guest anything? How long they was arguing? You know, Now I did hear somebody say that the guest did say this allegedly, because I don't know, I was not there. This is what I heard somebody say, that the guest said they was arguing ever since they've been there. Okay. Now, did the guest come there before them? Was the guest already gone when this happened to Ashlee and they don't know what's happened? Was they from that country? Was they out of town, come there to visit like Ashlee and them? Those things was never ever said. So I don't know, so I'm only going by what I heard. Okay. I can't confirm it.
She ain't gonna be running out a charge on her phone. That would have never happened. And if she had noticed that, she would have rang the front desk herself and asked for someone to bring a charger to her. According to them, when they found Ashlee, she was still alive and she was taken to the health center. They didn't tell us who took her to the health center, but we all know how that went down. The hotel, based on what we have gotten, allegedly, Joe McCann is a partner and an investor in the resort. It would explain why he always go back to that resort. He didn't have to go back there. He could have stayed wherever they got proposed, where he proposed to Ashlee. He could have easily stayed there and maybe he didn't have to go anywhere. But guess what? That was never the case. That was never the case. He went back to where he knew best and where he knew he was protected and where he knew he was safe and everything would be covered up. Ashlee wanted to end the relationship. That was never going to happen because a man like Joe, you cannot leave him. He has to leave you. That's the only way it works. And Ashlee wanted to leave. People, Ashlee was taken to a medical center. But guess what? Joe is said allegedly to have invested in the said medical service in Zanzibar. The hotel is not working with the police. The police is not working with the hotel. They are at loggerheads. But guess what? They still haven't given the public what they need. The family haven't gotten any autopsy as yet. But people, all of this, stay tuned for the live show tomorrow because I will break down everything in the live show tomorrow, guys. And we will go through this. I just wanted to give you an update and let you guys know what to look out for tomorrow in the live show and the Ashlee Jenae's case. Love and blessing to you all, and I'll catch you all tomorrow on the live show.
Now, I mean, it is a lot of unanswered questions, y'all. It is. And like I said, I don't have the answers to them. Now, let me play video that she did. I want to know who was the visitors, how long was they there, did they check in before Ashlee and them checked in? Like, I don't know, y'all. So I'm gonna play this one for y'all. She be having some good stuff too. So hold on. Let's see. Y'all, this is man.
Ashlee Robinson, better known online as Ashlee Jenae, just days after popping the question overseas, her fiancé is now being held in Zanzibar by investigators.
Do you believe that Joe McCann had something to do with your daughter's death?
It's under investigation and we don't know what went on.
Today, investigators and
if you want to be honest, I don't know. I didn't like that part when she said that, but that's her. When she said, I don't know. Girl, I know me as a mother. I'd have been like, yeah, that motherfucker did it. He took my daughter there. He took my daughter there. Who else could have did it? Unless he know who did it. That's what I would have said as a mother. I'm going to be honest. But maybe she did not want to say that. But I know me, and I know how I feel about my goddamn kids. And I know what the fuck I would have said. Straight up, off the bat, I would have said that. I didn't give a damn how nobody felt about it. That's your feelings. Good. But I would have said, yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I'm just being honest.
Tanzania held a news conference where they said they are questioning McCann and they are holding his passport until the autopsy results are complete.
Karen, an open book. I'm just being honest.
The Zanzibar Police Department has nothing to hide. Then why is evidence disappearing? Ashlee Jenae's ring, her phone, both gone, scrubbed from the scene. And her father just told TMZ one word that has been keeping me up all night. He believes Tanzania has her ring. He doesn't know because Tanzania has not told him. Tanzania has put this family in a state of not knowing on purpose. They are under zero obligation to share a single thing with the family, our embassy or the FBI. And if they destroy evidence, there is no recourse. Baby, I'm not convinced this investigation is being handled the way it should. And let me show you why.
Rick, they are desperate for those answers. Now, we did get some new information. We know that authorities in Tanzania have confiscated her fiance's passport.
She FaceTimed me, showed me her ring. She's like, Papa, I'm happy.
First of all, let's start with the ring, because the ring is the doorway into everything else. And I think that's why her family is focusing on it so much. Her father told TMZ he believes Tanzania has it. Read that again. Believes. And here's why that word is the most important word in this entire case. He doesn't know because Tanzania doesn't have to tell him. They don't have to confirm they have the ring. They don't have to confirm it was on her body. They don't have to share the autopsy. They don't have to share the phone. And they don't have to share the footage. They don't have to share anything. Even what they tell the U.S. Embassy.
And y'all, she's right. She right. And that's the effed up thing about it. They don't have to share anything, y'all. And they know that. That's why they're doing what they're doing.
Baby, what they choose to tell the U.S. Embassy, that's courtesy. It's not a requirement. And if Tanzania destroys evidence, mishandles the scene, loses the phone, lets the footage overwrite, there's no recourse. None. The U.S. cannot subpoena them. They can't punish them. They can do whatever, Tanzania can do whatever they want with this case, and we have to take it. So when her father says he believes they have the ring, that's not a confused man. That is the only thing he's allowed to say because nobody made Tanzania tell him otherwise, and nobody can. So let's break it down. Is the ring in police custody? We don't know. Was it on her body? We don't know. Was it missing from the scene before the police arrived? We don't know. Did somebody take it between her death and the moment investigators got there? We don't.
But Auntie OG, if she do, she might not win. Shanquella family didn't even win their lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? So she might not win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she can try it. But, you know, me and Open Book was trying to compare that case a little bit with this case because it's very similar. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I wouldn't tell her don't do it. You know, I would, whatever make her feel good, of doing it, do it. But it may be hard. It may be a hard ride.
No. 4 scenarios. 4 completely different stories, not one ruled out.
Yeah,
because
it is
Tanzania
That's why I
doesn't
said,
have to rule any of them out. The ring is not the story. The fact that Tanzania can withhold every answer about the ring and face zero consequences for it, that's the story. And let's talk about the phone, because the phone is even worse. It's sitting in Tanzanian custody. We don't know if it's been forensically imaged, damaged. We don't know if it's even powered on. Modern phones lose evidence every day they sit there. Batteries died, cloud syncs overwrite local files, encryption locks investigators out if nobody has the right tools. And that's if everybody is actually trying to find a proof. Let's not forget what the phone holds. The phone holds Ashlee's text. Now, if the phone's backed up.
Wait a minute. She said, hey, Roddy, in chat, I feel this is not the first time they have done this. A lot of people have said that. I pray Ashlee get the justice, but I don't think she will. Yeah. I'm with you on that one, too. I'm with you on that.
Maybe we will have a thing, an image. But let's not forget that Ashlee bragged about Joe being a tech guy. Let's also not forget that a tech guy could have easily talked to her and said, hey, baby, don't worry, our phone might get hacked. I'm worth billions. Back up your photos, back up your videos for your work. Yes. But personal conversations like our messages, don't back that up. That's dangerous stuff. Or maybe not. We don't know. We do know that even in the best of times, Tanzania's digital forensics capacity is documented as being limited. Their labs are underfunded. They may even have they might not even have what it takes to crack an iPhone. So that phone could be sitting in evidence right now, slowly turning into a brick. While the most important communications in this case, her last text, her location data, her photos from that night, because it doesn't matter whether she backed it up. There's an actual physical log in the phone.
Yeah.
That sits aside, at best untouched, at worst destroyed. And the family has no way to verify any of this. They're being asked to trust. But why should they? But here's what nobody's telling them, okay? They don't actually need that phone. Apple has a process. It's a court order, a death certificate, probate paperwork. The family can pull her entire iCloud, text, photos, location pings, notes, deleted messages through a U.S. legal process. However, that doesn't replace what happened on the phone if it was not backed up or right before backed up. Text messages, her asking whoever, why'd you do this to me? Look at my face, right? Photos that she might have kept, sensitive photos showing a history of abuse. It's all there. Again, Tanzania can sit on that phone forever. Now, while the cloud doesn't care, the most recent vital information is that phone. So why isn't it already in motion? Why hasn't the Tanzanian police actually subpoenaed iCloud to get into everything? And let's not even talk about the surveillance footage. That is the part. That's the part that's on the roll clock. Hotel systems overwrite footage every 30 to 90 days. We've already passed 14 days. If nobody preserves that footage in the last 48 hours, parts of it may already be gone permanently. And every day it sits there is another day for somebody to accidentally delete it. Now, the family's fighting for the footage, but they have zero power to get it. The U.S. has zero power to compel it. The clock keeps running. In any well-run investigation, that footage would have been seized on day one, sealed, copied, locked down.
I want y'all to know this is not an AI channel neither. She is a content creator and she goes live all the time on a lot of hot topics. So she's not a content creator, but she's talking facts. She's speaking facts. Exactly. It is what it is. Yes, open book. Yes.
The only thing is, because Zanzibar doesn't have to share anything, we have no confirmation that happened here. The room she died in, it's been cleaned multiple times. Let's not forget they said it was a suicide by staff who have no reason to know that they may have been cleaning a crime scene. At best, at worst, they knew what they were doing because Tanzania never sealed the crime scene. DNA on the bedding, gone. Fingerprints on the door, gone. Trace evidence on every surface, it's gone. That is not how a serious homicide investigation handles a case. That is how a case gets buried. And let's talk about the autopsy trap. Yeah, it's really great that the parents are doing an autopsy, but here's the part nobody's warning the family about. And this is the part that is literally driving me crazy. An independent U.S. autopsy is coming. Everybody's treating that like it's like, oh, the answer. Like the moment it drops, we know what happened, but we won't. Because even if the autopsy comes back next week and says that it was, somebody did do something to her, it confirms the cause of death, but it doesn't give a suspect. someone to charge. You need DNA from the scene, footage of who entered and exited the room, phone records.
She's right, y'all. If it come back that she was murdered, it's still no suspect. She's right. She's absolutely right. I agree with her. I agree.
Records of her final hours, witness statements locked in, trace evidence from her body, the chain of custody on every single one of those things. And every single one of those things is currently in Tanzanian hands. A government that has not confirmed to the family that any of it has been preserved properly. And if that evidence is compromised, you have a confirmed murder with no path to a suspect. The autopsy is not the finish line, you guys. It's the starting point. And if the evidence isn't preserved by the time it fires, the race is already over. That is a trap. The family is waiting on the autopsy, thinking it's going to save them. But again, it's only going to confirm what was lost. And let me drive this home for any of you guys being like, Tisa, stop, you're doing too much. Tanzania has zero legal duty to share anything, period. And I think people need to sit with what that actually means. Transparency International, a respected international watchdog, rates Tanzania in the bottom half of the Global Corruption Perception Index. There are documented systematic concerns about police and judicial integrity in that country. Not every officer, not every case, but it's published international data from credible sources. So when I look at this case, a foreign government with no obligation to share, with documented systematic concerns about its investigative system, corruption, refusing to give a grieving family even basic answers, am I supposed to assume that's good faith? Am I supposed to assume this case is being handled the way it would be in a country with a fully accountable system? I don't think I am, and I don't think we should. Here is how a case like this dies. And you guys brace yourself because it's scary. It doesn't take a movie villain. It just takes the path of least resistance. Closing this case as a suicide is easy. It makes the embassy stop calling. It makes the press go away. It costs nothing. The gravity of an underfunded system that doesn't have to answer to anyone pulls every case toward the easiest disposition. And the easiest disposition? Self-harm. Speaking of which, you guys, who started the suicide story? Where did that story even come from? Because it didn't come from Ashlee. And listen, who started it? It didn't come from her family. Her father said she was a beacon of light with zero signs of wanting to harm herself. So somebody, somewhere, planted that idea. Either Tanzanian police floated it, or a source connected to the case did. Either way, somebody fed that narrative to the press in the first 48 hours before the family had answers, before the autopsy was.
And she is right, y'all, because I do remember what one news reporter did ask the mom, did she have any mental issues? And when I heard that, I was like, don't even go there. Don't even go there, because I played it on my platform. I said, I know they ain't going to try to say this woman had mental issues. You know what I'm saying? Like they did Jaquella, said Jaquella was drinking too much and all that shit. You know, it seems like every time someone gets alive over there in another country, they comes up with their own theory of what happened because they're trying to cover the shit up.
It's done before anything was confirmed. And here is a documented pattern of intimate partner homicide cases. The surviving partner preloads a suicide narrative, tells first responders she was suppressed, tells investigators she was struggling, tells the media she was talking about hurting herself. Why? Because if everyone believes that she was ready to self-harm before the body's examined, the entire investigation tilts that way from minute one. It biases the autopsy. It biases the interviews. It biases the conclusion. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened here. I am saying the question of who started that story is a question that any honest investigator would be asking right now.
Oh, the two men in the background, they were just men that she just using. It's nothing like the men like over there in Tanzania. It was just, you know, You know, when people do videos, they just use, you know, like fake people and stuff. That's all that was. It's nobody from over there.
You find out who started that story, and you might find the whole case. There's also, we got to talk about who done it. Now, let me be careful here. I'm not naming the killer. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm walking you through how real investigators, when a woman is killed, FBI data tells us that the majority of the time, 50 to 60% of cases, it's an intimate partner, a husband, boyfriend, fiance, an ex. That's not an opinion. That is data. Every homicide detective on earth starts with people closest to the victim. So, who was the closest to Ashlee in that hotel? Who was she traveling with?
Joe.
Who was she fighting with? Loud enough that hotel staff had to physically separate them into different rooms hours before she passed away. I mean, the math is the math. Then there's the silence. Joe McCann has barely spoken to the family since her death. Going silent is not proof of anything. I admit that. But lawyers tell people to shut up. Smart advice, whether you're guilty or innocent. But there are two kinds of silence. Grief silence stays connected to the family, quiet publicly, present privately, cooperates with police, helps with the memorial, helps with sending her body home, helps with hiring a team of investigators, interpreters, translators, private investigators, both US-based and Tanzania-based, that speak Swahili, that could cost into hundreds of thousands. Legal exposure silence cuts the family off completely, engages with no one, treats them as adversaries. The family says they barely heard from him. You decide which silence that sounds like. And here's what the family needs to be doing today. Not next week, today, because they cannot rely on Tanzania to do any of this for them. A US-based attorney experiencing international wrongful death cases immediately. Sending legal preservation letters within 24 hours. Go to Apple, go to Google, go to Meta, go to the airline, go to the hotel, go to Joe and anybody connected to him. Once those letters land, destroying evidence is spoliation, and that has real teeth in U.S. civil court. A forensic consultant on the ground in Tanzania or in remote contact with authorities asking the questions a family member can't. Was the room sealed? When? Was the footage seized in the last 48 hours? Has the phone been imaged? Who has the chain of custody? These are the questions Tanzania has not been publicly asking. They should. The pressure on the State Department to engage in FBI's legal attaché, Dar es Salaam. The FBI can sometimes coordinate forensic assistance with forensic authorities, but only if they're activated. A probate court order. You need that to start pulling Ashlee's iCloud, Google account, and social media data through the U.S. legal process right now. That data may include every text she sent in her final hours, every photo, every location ping, every note she wrote. The truth of her last days is sitting on U.S. servers, waiting for a court order. The family doesn't need Tanzania for that. They need a probate judge. Every day they wait on Tanzania is a day evidence walks out the door. They don't have to wait. Somebody needs to be telling them that loudly before it's too late. And here's what I need you to understand, okay? There's a Natalie Holloway factor, or as I like to call it, a Natalie Holloway diagnosis. Here's what I need you to understand about the Natalie Holloway case, because everybody uses her case as a warning, and that is not what it is. Natalie's case did not go cold in 2025. It did not go cold in 2015. It went cold in the first 72 hours of 2005 when she passed away, when the evidence was not preserved, when the scene was not processed, when the witnesses were not pinned down. Everything in the 20 years around this has just been a confirmation of what was already lost in 3 days. Beth Holloway did not lose her daughter's case in court. She lost it before the case was ever opened, because by the time anyone in the U.S. cared, the evidence was already gone in a country that did not have to give it up. Now, look at Ashlee.
Wow.
Tanzania, day 14, family blind, evidence on the clock, footage running out, phone uncertain, body already autopsy to unknown standards in a country with no obligation to share, and a documented track record. We should not be worried. They have every single
Wow,
ingredient.
y'all. She's talking facts
This
in her
is not
video.
a future warning.
Yes.
This is a present tense diagnosis. Ashlee Jenae's case is going cold right now in real time. And unless somebody, anybody, steps in this week, we're going to spend the next 20 years exactly where the Holloway family has spent the last 20. So, 3 things we can do. Keep her name loud. Public pressure is the only thing that gets cases like this outsourced. Boost the family's GoFundMe. Investigations cost money. Attorneys cost money. The family did not budget for any of this. They believed in the system. They had faith. Being good, law-abiding, God-fearing people, they should not be punished on having faith in the system that they're just finding out doesn't care about them and has a reason to keep quiet. And also share this video. Every share is more pressure on the system that has to answer to the audience. Ashlee deserved to come home alive. She didn't. At the least we can do is refuse to let her case die quietly while the evidence walks out the door. You guys, follow for the next update. Send this one to the person who needs to see it. That's it. I'll talk soon.
What did y'all think about her video? I think she was on point. She was on point. That phone can tell a lot. A whole lot. Yeah. That phone can tell a whole lot. They don't have to share anything. Is the GoFundMe still up? I think so. I think it's on the dad page. Yeah, it's on the dad page. I think the dad page is Harry. I think it's right. His name is Harry Robinson. Yeah. She said they should have increased their GoFundMe and went over there to get got a PI. Yeah. Yep. They should have had boots on the ground over there. They should have had boots on the ground. Yes. She was on point. Yes, she was. Good information. Keep in your mind. Absolutely, sis. Yep, she was on point. She made some good points on the video. You know, so it's just a lot of stuff going around, y'all. Like I said, tomorrow's her funeral. I don't know if it's going to be public. And when I say public, mean that they will share it for social media. I don't know if they'll do that. You know, I don't know. Not unless, you know, someone goes there and you know, then again, if they allow you to film. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I mean, I feel like Tisa, like it's a lot of things that's gone now. You know, like because when she got put up in that closet, they had to touch her body. It was fingerprints on her body, around her neck, her shoulder, the chest area, the belt that they used, you know, all of that. That was fingerprints right there. Did they take fingerprints? You know, did they do, you know, the investigation to see who fingerprints was on her body? Did they do any of that? They had to touch the closet door, all that stuff. All that stuff is evidence. Her body, the closet door, all of that stuff. That's evidence. Where is it? Where is that stuff? Like, this stuff is just so sad. It's just so sad. And like I said again, I don't know where the hell Joe at, you know? But if he ain't in jail, he damn sure need to be there. Okay? And 1 minute they say Joe was in the other room. The next minute they saying Joe was with the security guard. Okay? So then who did it? You got cameras there. It's got to be cameras around that villa. Who went in that room if Joe was not there? if he was with the security guard or he was in his room? Who was Sean going in that room and coming out? We know Ashlee did not hang herself in that closet. How would she see that, how to hang herself in a pitch black dark room? Okay. They wanted everything to go away. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's so true, Shiz. The older the case get, that is so true. Joe paid them people off. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I definitely would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised. Do I believe Joe in jail? No, I just it's just hard for me to believe, y'all. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just hard for me to believe that little demon in jail. I just believe that they're covering all Joe shit up. You know, they're covering all his shit up. You know, did they really move her out the room? Well, did they really move Joe out the room and left her in the room? Because like I said, I heard that neither one of them was never moved. So, again, we really don't know. And Tisla is right. They don't have to share anything with the mother. You know they're covering up something. They ain't even send the autopsy back to the mother to show the mother nothing. So there you go right there. They're covering up. And yes, she should try to open up a lawsuit for wrongly death over here. You know, it's not, you know, it don't hurt to try, like OG said. But I don't know if she would be successful with it, but she can give it a try. I mean, to see, because it didn't happen over here. You know? This is, man, oh man. Hey, auntie. Man, oh man, oh man. I just don't know, y'all. This is a really sad situation. And they want people to shut up. They do. I do believe that. I do believe they want people to shut up. They want it to go away. And I don't know who just said that, but someone put in the chat they can rebrand the hotel. I didn't think about that, but that's a fact. They definitely would do that. Yeah, I believe that. I believe they definitely would do that. They would rebrand it. I didn't think about it. I forgot who put that in the chat, but somebody just put it in the chat. Thank you, Miss Parker. Thank you. So, y'all, what was the girl last name? I forgot. The girl from Chicago, y'all. The one that was in the freezer. Did anybody know her last name? What was her last name? Because I didn't want to say the wrong last name. Okay. Thank you. Jenkins. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah. Wow. That was a sad case too, y'all. That was a sad case too. I still follow her mom, and you know, her mom, I don't think she went live lately, but sometimes I can watch her, y'all, and sometimes I can't because I don't like all that stuff in my spirit. I'm just being honest. Yeah, Jenkins. I don't like all that stuff in my spirit. Oof. I don't know if her mother is, I don't know what's going on with her. I don't want to talk down on her. I just don't know what's going on with her. But I do know that she's having a lot of issues, and she having a lot of outbursts and stuff like that. Ooh, baby. Sometimes it make me feel like, is she guilty of what happened with her daughter because she took the money to, you know, to just shut the shit up, and now she's feeling guilty about it. I mean, that's just how I feel. Oh, Lord. Yes, and they still keeping her name alive on YouTube. Yeah, I see a lot of people still talking about her. Yeah, I do. I see a lot of people still talking about her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I see a couple of channels too still talk about the other Robinson girl. Yeah, I see people still talking about her like every so often. People still, you know, bringing her name up and stuff. And it's good. It's good. It is good. And I know that family, you know, I know they'll never be the same anymore, you know, because they didn't get justice for their beautiful daughter. Yeah, Jaquella. Yeah. So, and then it was another case too, y'all. I can't remember the lady name, where her husband went to damn, I forgot the name of that place. And the daughter think that the husband unalived her, but he's telling the people that she fell off the boat, and they never found her body yet, y'all. Her body have not been found yet. They did not take his passport. They took him in for questioning and let him go. And he left back out on a plane the next day and came home to California. This was a white couple. This happened like maybe 2 months ago. Maybe like 2 months ago. Yeah, like 2 months ago. And she's the only child, and she has been speaking out. I gotta see who covering that case. I haven't seen nobody cover that case, but I've been keeping up with it on the news. Well, they did ask him for the passport. That's what happened. They asked him for the passport. He told them that the passport went overboard when she fell off the boat. Her passport and his passport. So they wasn't able to take the passport anyway because he lied. But the daughter think that it was not true, that he hid the passport. The daughter husband also feel like he threw her off the boat also too. But when he got released from jail, he was telling the people that he was going to stay and help find the body, and he never did. He left. And this happened like 2 months ago. Yeah, this happened like 2 months ago, Lakeisha. Yep, like 2 months ago. It was a white couple. And they was having marriage problems because she did was say that the wife did say she was going to divorce him. Oh, they went to the Bahamas. That's what it was. They went to the Bahamas. Yep. This happened like 2 months ago. They never found that lady yet. Nope, they never found that lady yet. She's still missing. The Bahamas probably don't even care. Yeah. I'm gonna see can I find that story. I'm gonna see can I find it somewhere. And if I do, I'll share that story with y'all also, because I like sharing different stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially when things like this, like, you know what I'm saying, things coordinate together. Like you see all these people going to different towns and out of the country and stuff, and ain't making it back. Those stories are good to share. You know, they are good stories to share. Now that's crazy. Yes. The husband was weird. Yep. Oh, you know about that story? He sure did. And her mama only had one child, and the daughter was so hurt. She was so hurt. And she also stated that she gets no more calls, texts, or nothing from the husband. Now, I don't know if the husband was her dad or not. I'm not sure because she never made that clear. But he totally disconnected himself from talking to her. Yep. So it's going on a lot, y'all. It is. I'm just telling y'all, you go out of these countries, take more people with you. Take more people with you. Shit. Record everything. Everything. If you got to take your own hidden camera and put in your damn room, buy your own. And hide it somewhere in your room. Do that too. And when you get there, hook it up. Put it in your phone. Because these places is cold-hearted. They're cold-hearted. These some cold-hearted places out here nowadays. It really is. You know, it's sad. It's really sad. You go out here on vacation and your loved ones is not making it back. You know, so oh boy. Yeah, and that would have been good if she would have recorded her argument. But damn, if she would, you know what? Maybe she wasn't thinking. You know, she could have recorded the argument and sent the argument to her mom. You know, sometimes people do that. You know, when they have arguments, they send it to their friends, their mom. They send text messages. If the guy beating on them, they send pictures of the bruises. You know, different things like that. And that's again, y'all. I don't know if she ever did things like that with her mom. I don't know. Do her mom have anything to prove that he was the... And listen, even if the mother doesn't have nothing to prove a lot of his abuse, what do she think about him? What did she feel about him? Did you think he was a good man to your daughter? Because everybody got a little bit of discernment somewhere. God damn. I mean, and you got feelings. Like, how did you feel towards him? You know, when you talk to him on the phone, how did you feel towards him when he sat at your table for Thanksgiving? You didn't get no vibes, good vibes, bad vibes, because you can eat with me one time, motherfucker, and I can figure you out a little bit. Not saying it's gonna be all there the first time, but a little bit. What did she feel? What did she feel? Maybe she did, and that's what pissed Joe off. Yeah, because you know what, sis? It don't take much to piss a narcissist off. Baby, it don't take much. It don't take a second to piss them motherfuckers off, baby. And maybe if the mom do got something, maybe she would share it. You know? I don't know. Maybe she would sooner or later share, you know, what her daughter sent her, if her daughter sent her anything, you know? So, man, that's crazy. Wow. Sometimes we just don't know. We really don't. You just got to stay prayed up. This is crazy. But I definitely gonna do some more videos. See what I come up with. Like I said, I don't really like sharing all that AI stuff, y'all, because all that stuff be driving me crazy. And they be lying too much. I don't want to share that shit on my channel, all that lying. I don't. Some of that AI, baby, they need to just stop that shit. I don't share it. Now, like I said, if they saying something good, you know, I don't mind. But when they started sharing all them lies and all shit, and I don't believe it, I ain't. I'd rather just stay in my own lane. And they talking about share the video. Oh, hell no. See, that's why they want you to share, so they can get more people over there with all them lies they be telling. But I don't like doing stuff like that. I don't like that. Hey, beautiful royalty. How are you? I'm good. I'm blessed. Thanking God for another beautiful day. Because there's somebody out here that didn't wake up this morning. So I'm definitely blessed and thanking God. You know, so yep. So y'all, that's all I got for y'all today. And I will, y'all, I'm on my journey. When I get off of here, I got to get my stuff together for tomorrow. And again, y'all, I love y'all comments. I love y'all engagement. Y'all is welcome. Everybody got their own opinion. I accept all opinions over here. Y'all know how I do. Ain't no bad thing. I let everybody have their opinion. That's what it's all about. Everybody coming together and have their own opinion. And I likes that. I love it. Because this could be anybody in our family. It don't have to be our daughter. It can be our niece, our nephew, our aunt, uncle, one of our grandchildren, it can be any of those. So, I don't mind. I love you so much more, D. Thank you, Lakeisha. I love you too, sis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brittany. So, I always say everybody is welcome, because these is very sad stories, y'all, and they're very touching, and I like to, like I said, I don't have to know the family, talk to the family. I just like bringing awareness to things, y'all. That's what I like doing. I love it. I love what I do. I love bringing awareness to situations. I really do. It makes me feel good. So I'm going to do some research tonight, and I'll probably do some research on Jaquella too. Do another live on her tomorrow too, also. So that's what I'm gonna do, y'all. I like doing positive things, but y'all just keep this family in prayer for tomorrow, because tomorrow she will be laid to rest tomorrow. So let's keep this family in our prayers. I don't know, y'all, if the funeral gonna be open. I don't know. Because I think Open Book said she did write a comment under the church that was doing the funeral, but I don't think she never got a respond back because she never said anything to me about it. So I don't think she ever got a respond back from it. So I don't know. But I think it starts at 10. I think it started at 10. Yeah. But I'll keep my eyes open before I go live. See if I see anything. So I love you guys. Thank y'all for timing in. I appreciate you guys for timing in. Yeah, I hope so too. But if they don't, I respect that also. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for timing in. If you didn't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button as you go out. I would definitely see you guys tomorrow. Y'all stay prayed up and always remember to keep God first in everything that you do. Peace and love.